some ones and twos, threes and fours here, DJ Granite, will be coming your way in a few. But before that, I want us to have a very, very important conversation that really touches a huge percentage of the country. Actually, according to United Nations Habitat, a report they had back in 2007, they say 54.7% of Kenya's population lives in informal settlements. And this number, since 2007 up to now, has definitely increased, and we have the right minds for this conversation, particularly just to know, out of all these years and right now, and the fact that these numbers may just increase when conflicts arise and the new challenges that crop up, what should be done? What should the authorities therein do when it comes to alternative dispute resolution? And who is really supposed to be involved in all this resolution? Joining us today, Evelyn Bright. She is the founder of Certified Mediators and Advisory Limited Company. Welcome.
Thank you.
Also, Tom Auser. He is the president of the National Community-Based Organizations Council. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
The last time, Tom, we were way back, some couple of years, discussing elections and all that.
Yes. Now you didn't have any more business for me.
Good to have you, sir. First off, I think I'll start with this particular data, and that's way back in 2007. Some recent data goes on to show how, for Nairobi specifically, I'll start with you, Evelyn, on this one. Nairobi's population, 60% of Nairobi's population live in informal settlements. This data, first of all, I'm curious. I mean, for both of you, you'll tell me how the collection of some of this data is. But then when you take a look at the structure of these informal settlements and gathering data even from these places, the challenges that might be in that. But then when you take a look at this data, this is half of Kenya's population that lives in informal settlements. What do you think about this?
Well, we are still, or we should very much accept that we are a third world country. That I will start with. But hello, thank you.
Yes.
For welcoming me on TV 47. It's my first time.
How does it feel, by the way? Studios
Well,
and everything.
The setting is pretty good, and it feels quite homely. Yeah, I hope I'll be here a little more often. So yeah, I'll get straight back to the point that we are a third world country, and we have to accept that. Kenya, where it stands right now, I think it's one of the top African countries that are growing at a very good rate or speed. And with that, definitely there's a very big mass or big numbers that we're going to leave behind. The gap is going to grow wider between the wealthy and we would call them the okay.
The underprivileged.
Well, such words, tomorrow they might be ahead of you. So they are okay where they are until they figure out where they need to be. So when we speak of 54%, yes, that is half of Kenya. It gets quite tough, as you just asked right now, how do you go around this? Because they never really settle in the same place all the time. And it's literally, where can I survive?
Yeah.
How can I survive? If it doesn't work out in this part of the slum, they will definitely have to shift to the next. But we have to categorize them age-wise. That is the easiest, and maybe gender sometimes makes it a lot easier for you to collect the data that you're looking for. So you look at the number of women in the slum, young mothers, like really we're talking about now teenagers who are mothers. That is gender, at the same time age. And then you also look at the youth, you generalize them. This is both genders. What is the number like? Then you also look at now the heads of certain groups and families and etc. Putting them in these kind of categories helps you to quickly have the map of how the slum is running. And once you have that kind of data, then you can easily penetrate into what is their thoughts, how are they living, and etc., what is their pain. And when it comes in with mediation on our side, there is no category, no person, be in the slums, be in the uptown, or I don't know, the big White House, we all know that there's disputes everywhere. So we're literally everywhere. But the slum, yes, is quite challenging. Thank you.
And even before I come to you, also remember you can always be part of this conversation. Number 2047 is our SMS number. 0793-267-279 is our WhatsApp number. According to you, if you live in these informal settlements, if you have been there, what do you think should be the right mechanism of doing alternative dispute resolution, or rather, actually, the kind of right mechanism on conflict resolution? Tom, being someone who is deeply rooted. I mean, there's so many community-based organizations in informal settlements, in Nairobi and even other places. Kuna kuwaga na kitu watu sema, ukitembea mahali kama Kibera and you do not live there, watu hapo watajua pana, this person does not live here, is not among, among us. First of all, why is that? And also, tell us, what are the roots of these conflicts in these places?
Well, in places like Kibera, Madare, Uruma, those slums, most people there survive from hand to mouth. There's nothing to save, and sometimes they don't even have enough for their meals in the day. And then again, when you live in Runda or in Lavington, go to such places, you are so careful, you fear everybody around you. I mean, you must be noted because the way you behave, the way you look at people, the way you are careful not to lose your phone and other things, you'll just be noted that this guy is from somewhere else. Anyway, one of the reasons why we could never get rid of the slums in Kenya is because when we come up with programs that are supposed to improve the lives of the slums, those people who live there cannot afford the kind of budget that comes with it. So they move to another place where they start another slum.
Okay.
That's why you see, like in Kibera, we have had efforts to come up with affordable and new, better houses. But has Kibera changed? No. Kibera will never change. If you removed Kibera completely from this city, we will start another Kibera somewhere else. So the point is that the government must come up with good policies that can allow or make these people afford to live the life that they want to upgrade them to. The houses that were given to residents of Kibera slums dwellers were actually somehow changed hands to another level class of people. Those who own them don't stay there. They have hired those houses to another class of people for them to get income to go and live in another new slum somewhere else.
And from what I'm getting from you is this challenges are sort of interconnected. So as you say, if you removed, let's say, Kibera and placed it in another place, the same conflicts will still arise and they're still interconnected. So first off, as you talk about government policies, what is the first thing that should be done?
Well, we should not have a budget for people like you are coming up with affordable houses, which I'm not against. Then you say people are going to pay $3,000 a month. This person does not have $3,000 free money a month to pay to the government to get better living conditions. So the government must come up with fully funded project that the slum dwellers are not going to be forced to pay for them to own them. In fact, I think most people in Kenya, most investors can build houses and sell them at the same prices because land is given to them for free.
I think there should be a kind of like a system to help the people's mindset first, because if the people are not well developed, it becomes quite hard for them to adopt anything new that you bring in. As the president here has just mentioned it makes a lot of sense. He handles these people every single day. If it was me and you, and we're moved to a city that we have not lived in before, the question would be, what is your income or your capacity for you to keep up with the lifestyle in that city? So that is the same challenge that the people in the slums have. You've brought out the new buildings, you've brought out a new living. They have not lived like that before.
But the mindset is still there.
The mindset is still not ready to adapt to it, one. Two, you're not giving them a chance, an opportunity, a training, a skill, a way, a hope to have their way through it to fit in. So the easier ones or the ones who do not really want the stress and maybe to lose the little that they're holding on to, will run to the new Kibera, as President here has
coming
mentioned.
to disputes within the communities,
Yes.
living within those setups of slums in these many areas in Nairobi. Most slums are actually in the cities. You know, because the sources there are so minimal, and life in the slum is a bit too low than compared to other places. There's so many disputes that comes up every single day.
Do you think what Brett is talking about, the mindset bit of it, really is a key factor in this? If you're in this place,
Yes.
and we're calling it, let's say, TV47 slum, for example, and all these particular interconnected challenges are here. But then, for years, there is an upgrade that has been going on.
Yes.
Infrastructure and all that. But then the mindset on these people still continues. There are groups that were formed here by people who wanted to make sure that easy resources, we still make sure that they're ours. Water, we are the ones controlling them. And these are just de facto kind of groups. Do you think these are the root cause?
The problem is when you decide for those people who live in the slums, they're not part of it. You go make decisions in boardrooms and then go impose on them. If you can have them on board from the scratch, how do you want your lives to be upgraded to what level, and what is the time period you have? You cannot tell people next year I want to move you to Rwanda, and they are used to living in Kibera. They know how to get water, how to get their pay for their washrooms. You are taking them to another level and asking them to pay. That is the biggest problem. If you want to solve a problem in the slum, involve those people. They will give you ideas, and actually I think they have very good ideas, where they want to go, how they want their lives to proceed from where they are. So until the time when you have them on board from decision making, then we will succeed. But when we make decisions and take those decisions to implement in the slums, it will never work.
And now that bit of even the whole decisions, the public participation bit, Evelyn, this is your forte here. The aspect of having people come, we did see this in the public participation during the Deputy President's impeachment process. Yeah. But then now having it in this kind of a setup where you have public barazas, halls, for example, and people come and they air out their views. What is your view on how this has been done? Because it has been done before in different things, how we need to construct water, our sanitation, education. It has been done in different slums in the country. But how best should it be done such that the Mama Mboga who comes to this hall feels like whatever idea she has, as he says, they have amazing ideas. Whatever idea she says, at the end of the day, yes, yes.
Yeah, I hear you. And that is why CMA is here. As the president and founder of CMA, the idea, the dream was to have that gap closed, build the bridge between governance and the society. It's key. Recently, I'll just tap into what we all experienced recently when the riots went off. Nobody thought that they would even take more than 2-3 days. Nobody knew that they would go to the levels that they got to. But why all that? Because the people feel like they're not listened to, they're not heard. And the leaders are out there to represent or make sure that the people, the society, is well led. So I always keep saying, as you said, what is the best way to have this resolved, or to have at least these conflicts not in place, or exceeding our expectations? Always let's put leadership to the level of something that we all understand. We talk about like a family or home structure. There's always leadership. Not so. Governance or the government level has no any difference between the home structure. Would you be in your house, run everything yourself with your own ideas every single day without involving your kids, your wife, or the people that are in the house? They'll feel like you're running them over. So it is important to have that one-on-one engagement. So these community gatherings, grouping them according to their understanding. You just mentioned the Mama Mbogas. At CMA right now, we have got a whole team of over 500 female farmers that have their own complaints. And the question here is, why are they only the female farmers? They feel they're sidelined. They feel like if they go to the people who understand them, who are like them, they will have their issues maybe well noted or tabled the way they would want.
Yeah.
It's the same way with the youth. The same thing with the other groups in the society. So if we can start formulating structures, and this, according to my own experience, the time that we've spent going to the field, let it start from the grassroots, not from up. Because when the system comes from up to the grassroots, it's breaking the people.
So basically the bottom-up kind of kind of approach.
Let us start consulting from the people. You're the youth. How do you visualize your tomorrow? How would you want Kenya to be? Can we think together? Tomorrow, when we are holding seminars, when we are holding workshops with all the university students here of Kenya, let's say we do this quarterly. Every 4 months, we have a gathering of all top university students according to certain maybe subjects that we want to cover.
Okay.
If we're talking about taxation, if we're talking about politics, let's have these students, they're there. Can they contribute? Can they give us their say about what they think, where they want to be? Because they're tomorrow's leaders.
But also, the level of education here,
Yes.
One would wonder. There's a Swahili saying that says, kutembea kwingi ni kuona mengi. And one would wonder, for these people, I mean, having them here, if they were born in this particular informal settlement, they were raised here, they went to school here, they haven't exited from this place. The kind of ideas and ideologies they bring in here, so one would wonder, I mean, will they bring so much development?
I want to remind you that people in the slums actually work for the rich. So their lives is not about, that is where they go to settle at the end of the day.
Okay.
But during the day, they are in Runda building very good houses. They are associating with very experienced people in life. And mostly, I mean 90% of their lives, it's good places. So they have all the experience that we expect that anybody will have who's in the city. So you cannot say, because they live in the slums, that's how they see life. They see life better than most of us, only that they don't have opportunity to get to where they want to go.
How about the level of education here?
I believe even people in the slums, because I associate with them a lot,
Okay.
they are also fairly learned.
All right.
Yes.
Let's take a short break, Evelyn, as well as Ausa. Even as we also contemplate on this, when we come back, just still trying to understand the challenges here in the informal settlements, not only in Nairobi, but also in Kenya. We'll be right back. Anza Kulod, your SMSs. All right, I'm actually being told we should be wrapping up. So I'll take your last thoughts on what should be done progressively, if you're talking about, because these numbers are going to be increasing in the next even 15 years. Are we going to still be having Kibera being named as the largest slum in the country, but then, and even for what kind of a name on it? I'll start with you.
What keeps pulling our legs in the slums is because we have never had proper access of CMA ideas of solving our issues within the community without going to the courts and the prisons, and that most of our youth waste a lot of time in courts because of small, very petty crimes.
Okay.
So now that CMA is in place, that has been launched officially in Kenya, I believe that we're going to solve most of the issues that we have in the slums that arise from resources that are not enough for those people, and very petty crimes because they live very close to each other.
Right.
If that is properly, if the word of mediation, and mediation is done properly, we will improve the lives of our slum dwellers.
Right. In the world of mediation, it's your forte here.
Yes, CMA, as Certified Mediators and Advisory Board, we're here to change the whole ball game. When it comes to solving any kind of disputes, we're here to say, let's sit and talk and remain one as a family and grow together. So the more we are fighting litigation, or the more we are trying to drift our society away from litigation, because it's quite costly, time-consuming. At the same time, our people, as you say, does our education really support what we are doing or help us to get where we are? Most people don't understand the law, and they're in fear of it. So if we can start now by empowering people like the police and the rest to try and start using more of mediation, because the top best mediators we have are police officers. They're the first people that our society reaches out to. So if they are well trained, as CMA is having the structures to put in place, we are going to have different trainings for police officers. We're looking forward to having at least trainings for all the 47 county chiefs, women councillors. We're looking at now putting together some proper curriculums that are going to be in all the schools, from primary all the way to universities. So when kids from day one learn how to resolve issues, the alternative dispute resolutions, these are called ADRs, it becomes a lot easier for them as they get older to know how to handle such petty little misunderstandings here and there.
Right.
And with the CBOs, we have noticed that they are growing because they're being guided by a person who has seen all this on ground and in different areas. So CMA working hand in hand with government stakeholders and other sectors like this. We're looking at partnership with like Cohesion, Vision 2030 and the rest. There will be a big change. We're looking by the time of the elections, there should be peace. There should be a platform where people can talk to leaders without knocking heads.
The conflict of it all. Thank you very much, Tom Hausa, President, National CBO Council, as well as Evelyn Bright. She's the founder of Certified Mediators and Advisories Limited Company. Thank you very much. I hope back at home you've learned a thing or two. BAMBA is coming in a few, so there's a relax hapo.
Also, we are awarding people who have done extremely well in these areas on 2nd of next month.
All right.
Yes. So even you come, we might award you because you called us.
2nd of November is the day. Thank you very much. We're taking a short break. Feel Good Friday is definitely coming your way. DJ Granite ametayarisha playlist vizuri sana. He is a turntablist himself, so jitayarishe for all that. Anza kutuambia 22047 is our SMS number. Mtuambie request yako ni gani. Bansi Kimuyu, she is your weekend key. Atakuwa hapo hivi na wewe. Anza kutayarisha viti, meza, kila kitu hapo hivyo for you, because this is Morning Cafe. I'm usually Stanley Nyaringita. Kwa heri for now.